Before I start today's NXT Great American Bash, I just want to say a few things. First thing I want to say is I had no intention on doing a review for NXT Great American Bash today. I started a job this past week and I had the day off today, so I figured why not take advantage to do a review for NXT Great American Bash today. So, literally, the only reason why I'm doing this review today is for content purposes. I was originally going to take a week off from all of main roster, all of WWE product, but I figured since I had the day off on Thursday, I would do this review today for NXT Great American Bash. Second and final thing I want to get off my chest is someone is going into my comments section, and I'm not going to say any names or anything. I'm not going to try to start drama. I'm just going to state this once, and I'm never going to say anything about it again unless I have to. There's a person who is in my comment section commenting things that they're just trying to be funny of. And I'm not going to say names already, but bro, I know who you are. You try to get in my comment section, type in whatever you want. Oh, something about me and my friendships on Twitter. And this guy's a loser. Okay? This guy is a loser. You can just hear it from his voice. He is a loser. He has nothing to do with his life. So he decides to do things like this, spam the comment section, try to start trouble, and I'm not falling for it, bro. There's two buttons that I can press. Remove comment, which I've already done for all three comments you made, and mute, which I've already muted you here. There is a reason why I blocked you on Twitter, okay? There's a reason why I blocked you on Twitter. It's because you are nothing but a douchebag. You are a douchebag. You are a piece of shit, okay? You're a piece of shit, and you have nothing to do with your life. And that's all I'm gonna say about this. Is that that's all I'm gonna say about this. Just leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone, please. That's all I ask for. Continue to grow your channel to what you've gotten your channel to be today. So please and thank you. That's all I want to say on this situation. For the person who decided to try to make funny comments in my Fighter Fest review last night. That's all I'm going to say. But now that we got the bullshit out of the way, let's talk about NXT Great American Bash. Before we talk about NXT Great American Bash, make sure you guys go check out my AEW Fighter Fest Night 1 review last night on the Big Fight Fuel channel with my guest, Sami Kaloff. He was a really good guest. Shout out to Sami Kaloff if you are watching this Great American Bash review. Me and him killed it last night on the Fighter Fest review. Awesome show. I cannot wait for night 2 of Fighter Fest. And I will be doing the same thing next week right here on the Big Fight Field channel with Wesley Williams. So without further ado, let's talk about NXT Great American Bash, which actually, I gave it so much criticism last week because it was clear why they were doing this, because they were desperate against Fighter Fest. There's no denying that. I gave it so much criticism that my NXT review last week actually got more dislikes than it did likes, and that's the first time that has ever happened in any of my videos that I've made. But I'm glad I watched it this week. I'm glad I took my time and watched it and decided to do a review, because this was actually a good show. This was a good show for Great American Bash. A couple minors that I didn't like, which we'll talk about. But besides that, it flew by, just like Fighter Fest did. It flew by, and I had a fun time watching it. So, without further ado, let's talk about it. And it started off with the Fatal 4-Way elimination match between Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, and Tegan Nox. This was elimination Fatal 4-Way, and Candice and Dakota got out of the ring to start the match to let Tegan and Mia Yim go at it, the two baby faces. Then a few minutes later, Mia Yim hits Eat Defeat to Candice LeRae, and Candice was the first woman eliminated in that match. Dakota then, a few moments later, rolled up Mia Yim, and she eliminated Mia Yim from that match. So then we were down to Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai, with Kai hitting, going for her finisher. Tegan Nox reversed it. She hit a huge cannonball to Dakota, Shining Wizard, and Tegan Nox became the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Surprising? Yes. Did I expect this to happen? Absolutely not. I thought this one was going to Dakota, knowing that they've built her up for these past few weeks to make her that challenger for Io Shirai, or the first challenger for Io Shirai. But Tegan Nox won this matchup, and you know what? I have no problem with it. You're not going to get a complaint out of me. I really like Tegan Nox. She's underrated. I was about to say underwhelming, but she is very underrated. I don't think people give her a lot of credit. The one thing I don't like about Tegan Nox is her Lady Kane chokeslam. Like, she's like 5'5" or 5'6", and she's doing a chokeslam. Like, that's going to have no effect on your opponent whatsoever. So that's only my only criticism on Tegan Nox. But Tegan actually got the pinfall victory over Dakota Kai in that 6-woman tag at In Your House TakeOver. And her getting the victory and her getting the first shot at Io Shirai, I have no problem with whatsoever. Dakota, she is eventually going to get her chance at Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship, but now we're looking at Tegan Nox versus Io Shirai, and you're not going to get a complaint out of me whatsoever. So I'm totally okay with this, and I'm happy for Tegan Nox that she's finally getting a shot at the Women's Championship. Timothy Thatcher versus Oni Lorcan. Man, this match was very physical. A physical match like I knew it would be. Forearms, strikes, kicks, chops, submission holds from both guys. This was a very good match. This was... I'm going to surprise a lot of you right now by saying this. I liked this match better than I did Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. And I'll get to that, why, in the main event. But I like this match better than Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. In my opinion, this was the best match on night one of Great American Bash. Oni Lorcan, he's just so good at what he does, man. He's really good. He's obviously the leader of that tag team with himself and Danny Burch. He is that leader. He is a very good singles wrestler as well. He can make your opponent look very, very good. He made Tim Thatcher look very good here. And at the end, where Tim Thatcher put the arm submission in on Oni Lorcan, his face at the end, it made it look like Tim Thatcher was freaking possessed. He looked great in this match. And Oni Lorcan, he was in this match to make Tim Thatcher look great. He did just that. This match was great. This was a really great match. Not my favorite match on both shows, but I would go to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus MJF and Wardlow. But this is probably third or fourth my favorite match of the two shows last night. This was a great match, and Tim Thatcher got the win against Oni Lorcan. So great stuff from both guys there. Rhea Ripley took on the Robert Stone brand. Robert Stone and Aaliyah. If Aaliyah and Robert Stone won this match, then Rhea would have to join the Robert Stone brand. God forbid she lost this match. Eventually, she won at the end, thank God, tapping both of them, Robert Stone and Aaliyah, out. I refuse. I said this, I think, last week on the NXT review. I refuse to think that this whole Robert Stone storyline is a Triple H thing. This has to be Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon probably has his hands on this storyline because it's just been terrible. Robert Stone has been made to look like a loser. He looked like a loser in this match. He came out very ridiculous. He looked so ridiculous in this match with his ring attire, the sports goggles, the mouthpiece. He kind of looked like a jackass in a nice way. But this match was terrible, god awful match. I barely paid attention to it when I was watching it, and Rhea got the win. That's all I'm going to say about this match with Rhea versus Robert Stone and Aaliyah. Just terrible match. The strap match. The first ever NXT strap match with Roderick Strong and Dexter Lumis, and it was a decent match. I expected more out of this, to be honest, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to give this match more criticism. I enjoyed it. It was decent for what it was. Dexter Lumis did get the win at the end with his Uranagi into a chokehold with the strap wrapped around Roderick Strong. But this was a decent match for what it was. I'm disappointed that they barely used the car in this match to put Roderick Strong in the trunk. That was basically what the whole storyline was for. Roderick Strong being afraid of Dexter Lumis putting him in the car trunk. But there were cars at rings on the stage for Great American Bash, and I thought for sure that Roderick Strong and Dexter Lumis was going to use the car in this match, but that did not happen. Dexter opened up the trunk, but Roderick Strong saw it and he countered Dexter Lumis' maneuver to put Roderick Strong in the trunk. Roddy came very close. Dexter Lumis whipped Roderick Strong with the strap a few times at the end. Bobby Fish then came in. Bobby Fish ran right into the strap. And then Dexter Lumis finished off Roderick Strong. Like I said, this was decent, fine action. I was looking forward to this match a lot, considering what we saw in the last strap match between Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. That match was great. This match, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad as well. Like I said, it was a decent match, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, where does Dexter Lumis go from here? Where is Dexter Lumis going to go from here after this feud with the Undisputed Era, more importantly, Roderick Strong? I don't know. To be honest. I don't know, because it looks like we could be going to Dexter Lumis versus the Velveteen Dream, which I would have had no problem with, but considering what's happened with Velveteen Dream these past few weeks, there's rumors that he's going to get released by the WWE from the sexual allegations that's been going on with him, and he got in a car accident this week. So I actually have no idea what's going to happen with Dexter Lumis. Maybe a North American title picture for Dexter Lumis, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure where Dexter Lumis goes. But his feud with Roderick Strong, it was good. It wasn't anything great, but the Undisputed Era therapy sessions were good, and Dexter Lumis' involvement in the Velveteen Dream Adam Cole feud, that was very nice touch as well. So good stuff between Dexter Lumis and Roderick Strong. We then played. They then played the prime target for next week's winner take all championship match between Adam Cole and the Velveteen. Not the Velveteen Dream. I'm sorry, Adam Cole and Keith Lee, NXT champion versus NXT North America champion. I fast forward this. I didn't want to really watch the prime target. I could probably go back and watch it if I wanted to, but earlier this morning, some dumbass on social media spoiled the Adam Cole Keith Lee result for next week's NXT Great American Bash. It was spoiled by an NXT superstar who posted it on his Instagram, and he then deleted it. It was NXT roster member Surav Garar. I don't know how to pronounce Surav, his name was, but he's a member of Share, and he spoiled the ending with Keith Lee and Adam Cole. Posted it on his Instagram. He then took it down this morning, and I'm sure most of you guys who are watching this review know what happens, but he posted a video of Keith Lee holding up both the NXT and the NXT North America Championship. There were little bits of pyro going off, confetti going off for Keith Lee's big wins, people around taking camera shots, and it was spoiled that Keith Lee won both the NXT and the NXT North America Championship. That member of the Singh brothers, of the Share, who posted the spoiler, really should be ashamed of himself. I'm telling you right now, he should be ashamed of himself. I know they taped the match, but I mean, come on, dude. Can you really, can you not post it, please? Because us fans haven't watched it yet, and that's literally the only thing that we care about for next week's show is that winner-take-all match, and now it's already spoiled thanks to him, so I guess nobody's going to be watching next week's Great American Bash, but RIP ratings, but whatever. We'll go through this really quickly, and then we'll go into Sasha Banks and Io Shirai. We had El Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza come out. They said that they want to represent the new culture of Lucha Libre and show what they're all about. Lucha Libre isn't all about wearing masks and doing flips. It's about pride and destiny. Drake Maverick then comes out. He's wearing a neck brace. He takes it off. He goes down to the ring, gets attacked by Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. Santos Escobar then gets on the microphone and he says, "I told you, little guy, no one can touch me." Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango, they came out to save the day, and it was announced later on that next week on NXT Great American Bash Night 2, it would be Drake Maverick and Breezango versus El Legado del Fantasma. Should be a good match. We'll see what happens next week. It was also announced, along with that match for next week, that we'd be seeing Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae in a street fight, and the winner-take-all match, which I just talked about, and that match that got spoiled between Adam Cole and Keith Lee for the winner-take-all. Backstage, Cameron Grimes was in an interview. He heard the challenge from Damian Priest. He said he already beat Damian Priest, so he's got no way that he's going to take a rematch from Damian Priest since he already beat him. And he said, in his eyes, he's the number one contender for whoever wins between Adam Cole and Keith Lee. So maybe we're going to see that match down the line. I'm guessing not, But Cameron Grimes' character, I'm not a fan of whatsoever. It's terrible. The man is so good at what he does, but his character sucks. And because of his character and his hillbilly sound, he is not going to succeed on the main roster once he gets up there. He's just not. Vince McMahon is going to look at him, and he's going to think of catering when he looks at Cameron Grimes when he goes up to the main roster. I'm telling you right now. Main event of NXT: Sasha Banks versus Io Shirai. This was the match everybody was talking about going into this week's Great American Bash. Match of the year, match of the night, best women's match of the year, all that stuff. People were saying that this was going to be the best women's match of the year. I hated the way they went about this. It was Sasha Banks cutting a promo on Twitter saying, "You ruined our homecoming to NXT, and now I want a match with you." That's all that happened to... Excuse me. That's all that happened to build up to this match between Sasha and Io Shirai, with Sasha saying that it kind of came off desperate to, once again, get another shot at Fyter Fest. But let's just talk about the match. The match was very good, I'm not going to lie. It was a great match. I enjoyed it. Io Shirai, in my opinion, is the best women's wrestler in the world right now. Sasha Banks is very close up there. But in my opinion, Io Shirai is just on another level. She is doing very good things right now in NXT with their women's division. NXT Women's Champion. Let me tell you something. Io Shirai has one of the best drop kicks in the business today. You think of great wrestlers who have beautiful drop kicks. You think of Io Shirai, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, Randy Orton has a good drop kick, Aleister Black has a good drop kick, Kenny Omega has a great drop kick. Io Shirai has the best drop kick in the wrestling business today. So I just felt like I wanted to say that for you. But this match at the end, Bayley got involved. She was playing tug of war with the referee over the women's tag team title. Asuka then came out from under the ring, pulling away Sasha's women's tag team title. Asuka pulled it away. She spit green mist into Sasha Banks' face. Io Shirai hit a top rope moonsault, and Io Shirai defeated Sasha Banks. It was a really good match. It protected Sasha Banks to go up against Asuka at Extreme Rules for the Raw Women's Championship. And I'm excited to see what Io Shirai does in the NXT Women's Division as the champion. And NXT Great American Bash Night 1 went off the air with Io holding the NXT Women's Division, NXT Women's Championship, and Asuka holding the Raw Women's Championship. So that is your Great American Bash Night 1 review. Like I said, I'm glad I watched the show. It was a good show. Not great, but it was a good show. I did enjoy Fyter Fest more than I did Great American Bash. You could call me a mark all you want. You can call me a shill. I don't care. I enjoyed Fyter Fest more than I did Great American Bash. But it was not a bad show. It was a good show for what it was. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have not already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Field channel. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers very soon. So let's get to that. Comment down below what you thought of NXT Great American Bash Night 1. I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like this video if you enjoyed the Night 1 Great American Bash review. Follow me on Twitter at Conlon_Joseph and Instagram as well at Conlon_Joseph. I go back to work tomorrow, so if I'm going to post a new video, I will post it on Sunday. Maybe if I'm home in time, we could do a rapid fire news on Sunday. I'm debating about it. It depends when I get home on Sunday. If I get home at a decent time, I will do rapid fire news for you guys on Sunday, right here on the Big Fight Phil channel. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good night. Stay safe. And enjoy your 4th of July weekend, folks.